In today's video, I'm going to review this Cool Life misting fan. Now this is the model P20, which is the upgraded version. So in the upgraded version, they have a switch here to control the brightness. You can have it off, as I do most of the time. Basically low and high, and then off. So that's what the middle button does. This is the fan speed control. And when it's flashing red like this, then it's charging. It comes with a USB cable. This is the cable that comes with. And I'm just using my battery bank at the moment. There's low, medium, and high. And then here are the misting options right here. And I'll show you how this works in a second, but first we need to fill it. So when you first get it out of the box, this thing will be on here, this cap. And you need to take this cap off and then turn it off to the right if you want to run the mist. So the mister comes out here, and then here is the fill tank. And it holds 250 milliliters of water. That's not a lot. That's 1/4 of a liter. So it's, you know, it's like very, very small amount. And let me show you how you fill it. Now there is a charge port right here, and so they've got it sort of right below, and all the electronics are right below. So the way I do this is I take this off and I tilt it to the right a little bit so that the water that drips down doesn't come down in here into the electronics or get into the charge port. So that's a little bit awkward. I guess you could use a funnel and have less spilling and whatnot, but I prefer to just fill it at the sink here. And once you've done that, then it's ready to go. Now, one thing I did notice about this is the location of the charge port here on the back. It is in this recessed panel right here, and it is kind of hard to get to. And so you have to aim that from a distance, and you can get that in there. But a couple of reviewers online also commented on it that it's a little bit difficult to get to. And so I wish they could have put that, you know, maybe, I don't know where they could have put it, but right there is not the best spot, especially since there's a possibility of water dripping down and actually going into the charge port. So be careful when you fill it with water. Now I'm going to turn on the low fan here for a second, and then one click will be low, and show you the misting. This is a bit counterintuitive. It's always going to be blue. It's either going to be blue or off. So one click will be full. Okay? So notice that it's blue. If you click it again, then it goes into intermittent mode. And in my test, this uses half of the water as the full mode. And then one more click and it's off as far as the misting is concerned. Now the second one will be medium, and the third will be high. Alright, now let's talk about its cooling effect and how far this reaches. So let's put this on full, and we'll put it on high. What I found is that if you get just a few inches away, you simply do not get wet. However, if you go, I mean, you have to go like this much, really, really close, and then you'll see it start to drip. Okay? So there's the water on the back of my hand, and it will drip a little bit if you get really, really close, but nobody sits that close. And I'm surprised how far this mist goes. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to actually measure it to see how far the mist goes here inside the house. Now I do not think you're going to see the mist on the camera, but I am now 6 feet away and I can clearly feel the wind. And I tried to orient this so that I could see the mist, at least on the camera, and I cannot. But now I am at least 6 feet away, probably 7. So even at this distance, I can feel the cooling effect, but I'm unable to definitively measure how far it goes. But a lot farther than I anticipated. I do know that much. Now, to give you an idea of the noise, this is an app called Spectrum, and it shows you the decibels. So when I quit talking, we're down to like 74. Let's test this on low. Not too much change. I'm about 6 inches away. And let's try medium. That went up to 81. And we'll try high. So this is mellowing out about 87 dB, 88. Now for price, here it is in the summer. It's in July, it's hot, we're having heat wave, and they've upped the price to $43. However, back in May, it was on listed for about $38. So they have increased it due to supply and demand, but it's still fairly reasonable for what it does. This is fully charged, and so I've got the cap off here for mist, and I'm going to put my watch here, and hopefully we can do a time lapse. I'm not sure if you'll be able to see this fan running, but we'll give it a shot. So it's just before 8 o'clock, and we're gonna put this on high, and then we'll do the intermittent mist. Okay. There's the intermittent mist, and then we'll start our time lapse and see how long this will go. I got a string and some tape and put on there so that we can see this fan running and when it stops. So on the intermittent mode, the mist stopped just at 1 hour. So that's how long I've been able to consistently get with the intermittent mode. So let's let this thing run all night long and see how long it lasts. Well, I got up this morning and took a look at the fan, and it has been running just a few minutes under 8 hours, and that is on a fan speed of high. Now for this next test, I want to see how long the mist will work at full blast. And so I've just plugged this into my battery bank, and you can see that it's charging here. And this is a feature where you can charge and run it at the same time through your USB cable. So I just filled this up full, and let's turn this on. Okay, one click is going to be full, and then we'll just go ahead and turn this on. The fan speed does not matter here because I just want to see how long this will mist, and that's all I want to do at full blast. So let's start the time lapse. I got my watch here, and the time is about 9:25. So let's see how long that lasts. Now it's been 30 minutes, and this is what I see consistently. It is still misting, but now it's starting to sputter because the water is getting down at the bottom of the tank, and it's just putting out what it can, and it's a bit intermittent. So the run time that they said on the product description with mist on full blast is 100 minutes, and I simply cannot replicate that at all. I'm consistently getting about 30 minutes of useful mist, and this may sputter for another few minutes, and maybe you can wiggle this around a little bit. See, it was just ever so slightly tilted up, but because we're at the bottom of the tank, then it's hit or miss whether it's actually going to go into the pump. So I'm a little bit disappointed in the mist runtime, but this is a consistent behavior that I am seeing with the misting function. Alright, so what is the bottom line here? Here I'm out in the hot sun, which I would never do, but I can put this on the table and sit over here on the chair, and I can feel that cool breeze on me just immediately. So it does work, and we are having a heat wave. It got to 103 or something like that in the past couple of days, and I was not out here in the hot sun, but I did come out here in the afternoon when it was shady. And so it does work. It has a limited run time as far as how long it will mist. The fan runs a long time, but as far as the misting is concerned, you will need to periodically fill this if you're going to sit out there. And so it's approximately once per hour or something like that. I do like the fact that it is rechargeable and it lasts a significant amount of time. It's USB-C, which is a good plus instead of some funky cable. Everybody's now adopting the USB-C, which is what they should do. And so for my purposes and what I bought it for, which is either go camping with it or to have some cooling breeze out here when sitting on the deck, I like it. It's not perfect, but for $43 or whatever I paid for it, I think it's worth that much anyway. Just bear in mind the limitations of what it can and cannot do. So anyway, I hope you found that helpful, and I'll put a product link in the description below.